So Kristen is here. She's going to kind of run a little round robin here up on stage, and you're going to get a chance to hear a little about what's going on with hockey and sports. She's a sports media personality, host, interviewer, and brand ambassador. She's actively involved in NHL alumni community, hosting and covering high-profile hockey events, player appearances, sports entertainment experiences across Canada and U.S. So she's been involved both in the NHL, the CFL, and the NFL, and she's going to help us to find out a little bit about these other two characters that are with her. So Paul Pascu is a host of Hockey Alumni Lunch held in Toronto on a monthly basis. A lot of the NHL players and people involved in the NHL show up at these lunches. It's a really great lunch to attend. And I'm sure that Paul's going to tell you you're all invited. He was telling Bill Young, come on, Bill, we're going to get you over there. So he also does a regular talk show, and it's called Hockey Talk. He gets NHL hockey players and referees and people involved in the NHL. It's a great talk show. This group's Paddy Adair is with them today. He's a former Junior A hockey player with the St. Catharines Teepees. I won't tell you what year that was, but it was a long time ago. He's older than I am. He's older than most of the people in this room. Paddy went to Europe to play his hockey, his professional hockey. Pat played in Europe for 10 years in The Hague, in Austria, and Milan, Italy. And it's expanded since then because Ireland's now got a hockey team. England's got a hockey team. When I say Ireland, Northern Ireland, some people will say Ireland doesn't have a hockey team. But they might have a hockey team soon because they're planning on building a $60 million arena in Ireland. So without further ado, come on up, you guys. And Kristen, I'm going to give you this microphone. You're going to have to keep control of these two characters with you.
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to be here. Thank you guys for letting us take over your lunch.
This live mic? Can you guys hear me?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you can? Oh, okay. What was that?
I said unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we have a thing together where we do a few minutes of fun stuff at the alumni lunches. You're all invited, by the way. Yes. We had Darryl Sittler and Tiger Williams at the last one. Joe Bowen before that. We've had all kinds of great guests. So I think you'd enjoy listening to all the people there. And,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do run it, and like Barry said, I'm involved in a lot of hockey stuff, documentaries, and
just a few things.
Yeah, a few things, and we're doing a Bill Barocco. I'm being interviewed for the Bill Barocco documentary on Thursday. So you guys have heard of Bill Barocco, right? Yeah. Even Kristen's going to learn about Bill Barocco.
Yes, yeah. I am. I learn new things every day with these two.
That's right. And Paddy Adair.
Some things I can't repeat. Yeah.
Paddy Adair centered Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita when he was St. Catharines Teepees. You believe that? You have a picture to prove it, too. Right, Paddy?
Right.
You can use the microphone there.
Yeah, you have to put the microphone.
Robert Marvin Hull we went to St. Catharines Collegiate. Bobby used to just go around with something like a T-shirt like this, and he's got the muscle fight coming out of his ears at 18. And, of course, I went behind him, and anything that he didn't pick up, I kind of helped him with.
Yeah. Well, Paddy was the Rock Richard of Europe. He's not a modest guy. I'll tell you that.
No.
I tell you guys, I got 100 goals in one season.
Woo!
35, in 35 games.
That's amazing. Good job.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
Impress us.
Well, I went home after that. I couldn't do any better than that.
That was good. That's good.
Paddy's a valued member of our group, and the most valuable member is sitting right here. That's Kristen.
Well, thank you.
Kristen. Kristen has a lot of things that people say about her.
What?
She
what
is
are they?
Ambitious.
Oh.
Resilient.
Thank you.
Authentic. This one I like, magnetic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Driven, outgoing, and passionate. That's
Thank
what
you.
you're described as. So we're going to ask you some questions about your
Sure.
career.
Okay. Let's do
Okay?
this. Yes.
We're going to start
Yeah.
with your connection to sports as an athlete.
Yes. So I grew up figure skating. I skated for 17 years. Yes, but my sister was more of the figure skater than I. She skated with Elvis Stoico and his coach and stuff like that. So we kind of always had sports in our family. I went to OFSA for tennis, so that was really cool. But now I play pickle.
You play pickleball now.
I do now. I play pickleball.
And you score touchdowns and whatever
do.
they do in pickleball.
I had to explain what pickleball was to him the other day. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so that kind of brought me back. I
Yeah.
guess, to
Well, how did you
sports.
go from playing sports into the sports media?
Well, it was a few years that had passed.
Mhm.
But I was working with a beauty company, a beauty industry.
You with a beauty company?
No. Yeah, I
Whoa.
did.
Yeah. You mean you ran it, right? Okay.
I
yeah.
did. No, I didn't run it. But we were doing promotions with the River Lions, so the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Yeah. And as I was running the promotion, we were giving away a free car and stuff, but I was working with the team and I was like, wait a minute, this is where I belong. I belong back in sports. So it was kind of a full circle moment, I guess you could say. And then, so I did the promotion and I was kind of on the court doing that. So it kind of led me into the Hamilton Sports Group. So I'm sure everyone here knows about, I don't know, a little CFL team called the Tiger Cats. Yeah. So I work with the Tiger Cats and Forge FC, the CPL team. They have won 4 championships and they are the best team in the league right now. So they are doing phenomenal. But I do brand ambassador work.
Are
with
the
them, so.
Tigers going to win a Grey Cup one of these days?
I hope so.
Yeah?
I hope so.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. But
Yeah.
I think they have a really good team this season. So they have a lot of great players this season. And I think they're going to do really well.
They do. They came close a few times.
Mhm.
And the reason I'm wearing this is because it's the Ticat colors.
Yes.
Even though I'm an Argo guy, okay? No booze? No.
Oh yeah, he likes the Argonauts.
That's it. Who said that? Yeah.
But they have they have a challenge this season, I think.
Well, Argos, I wouldn't
Don't
worry
you
about them. You know,
Well, they have to play out of Guelph for a little bit because of the World Cup
That's right.
coming.
But we do have a CFL alumni lunch as well.
We do.
And
so
that's fun. You
yeah.
can tell about that.
How are we having another one this year?
We sure will.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we've
everyone's
had
invited
Chuck
to that.
Ely
So
and
we have
all kinds of different former players come and talk to us, and so you're all invited to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to
Should
miss the
actually
last
do it
one,
here.
That would be cool.
Nice. Do it. Alumni lunch right here if we can find it.
They got lost.
We got lost.
Yeah.
The gentleman to the left there, he doesn't follow instructions very well.
Don't believe that.
Yeah.
His eyesight's worse than mine. So anyways, so we're involved in football. Kristen more so than me. And so we do we don't have a rivalry at all. So
we don't.
But Ticats and Argo fans do. And Chuck Ely said this to us. He wished that the Argo fans were a little bit tougher and meaner as compared to the Ticat fans. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I always compare the Tiger Cats to the Buffalo Bills and our fans here and our fans there. They're wild and I love it. Yeah. It's the best. It really is. I'm a Bills fan too. Go Bills.
Well, let's hope the Ticats do win. And too bad the Grey Cup's not here this year. It's in Calgary, but it'll come back to Hamilton and hopefully when they win.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
hopefully.
good.
It'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So what projects are you working on now?
Well, the NHL Alumni Luncheon.
Yes, a big part.
That's a big thing. Yeah. So I do get to do like sideline interviews during those. So I did get to interview Tiger Williams. And who else have I interviewed? Claire Alexander.
Sittler? You got them?
You know, I don't
You
think
missed out on him?
well, no, I talked to him, but I
Yeah.
didn't get to
Well,
get,
you did
it was a
interview
really
Tiger.
busy
Well, yeah, and
event.
funny thing, since you joined us, the attendance has really skyrocketed.
I don't know why.
You don't know why? I think I know why. You guys
Well,
know
yeah.
why?
It's a little obvious.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, no, we do interviews now, and we
do.
put them up on Facebook. We even had Ian Young came last time. Now, Ian Young was a promising goaltender with the Oshawa Generals, played with Bobby Orr, and he had an unfortunate eye injury. And you're related to him, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're going to come to the next lunch, right? You're invited right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have.
Of
Sure, you can
course.
bring anybody you like. You can bring the whole crowd. It's not just NHL alumni; it's any hockey alumni, and scouts and coaches and whatever. And we even allow Paddy in too. So
Sometimes he's not allowed, though.
No.
We have to stop him at the door.
Yeah, but Kristen is the new host.
I am hosting. Yes. So I
Yeah,
get to
and
introduce
she
him.
introduces everybody, and then she does those interviews, which are a lot of fun. And they get thousands of views on Facebook and everywhere, Instagram and everything. So
we're gonna make a little episode type of thing on it. So soon, you guys will all be able to watch it on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we had that shield that Kirsten made.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That's right.
For Joe Bowen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we presented Joe Bowen with a plaque. Kristen designed that. She also designed our logo. I think you're pretty talented.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you're working with this Forge thing, or
So right now I'm brand ambassador with the Forge FC and Ticats. So I do a lot of community events, and we'll go around to schools, to soccer fields, football fields. We hang out with kids. We tell them all about it. Give away some cool, bracelets and stuff like that. And not right now, unfortunately, but I used to be VIP concierge at game days. So for Forge FC, I would be in the suites and just making sure everyone's happy. And then for the Ticats, I did the Caretakers Club. So if anyone's been in the Caretakers Club, you may have seen me there. And I just make sure everyone's happy and cheer for our teams. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you do a lot for us, and we're thankful to have you. And we, next lunch is June 1st.
It is. And then we have one on June 29th.
June 29th. And then we have to close down for the summer because the tournament's at the rink where we do it. And then we start up in September. And we're going to do the 50th anniversary of the 76 Canada Cup.
Yes.
And we actually have the trophy coming, and we're going to have some players coming, and that's going to be a big one.
I think so.
You guys remember Wally Stanowski and Harry Watson and all those guys from the late 40s Leafs? They were all there. They started it, and we got to continue it because we lost a lot of the players, but Bobby Bond says, keep it going.
Keep them going.
They love it.
Paul, you got to mention the Big M. He came.
He did. He did come.
Frank Mahovlich.
Yes, he was there.
He comes. Not always, but he comes. And, and he was a pretty good player. Yeah. You guys heard of Frank Mahovlich, right?
Yeah.
I guess so,
Yeah.
And Peter Mahovlich. Peter keeps saying he's going to come to the lunch too.
I can't look over there.
But
because of last
we
night.
have triplets here who are Montreal Canadian fans, right?
Yeah.
How many Stanley Cups?
I see them.
24?
Oh,
is that right, eh? How many did you guys participate in? None? No, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. They look a good Hab fans.
I'm a little heartbroken today. So I'm a Sabres fan. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, she sure is. She's well connected. She got us into the alumni box there.
Yes.
Talked to Don Luce and Seymour Knox and others as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It
was
sure
a lot of
was,
fun.
yeah.
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 And we also we did the Hall of Fame. So I went to the press conference for the Hall of Fame inductions.
Yeah, you
in
did interviews there
2025.
too.
Yeah.
And you went to the Hockey Hall of Fame inductions last year.
I did. I went to the induction ceremony last year.
And you had the full experience there.
I did. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I hope to go back this year.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on that.
Who took her there?
I got there on my own.
She got there.
Yeah.
But once she got there, though, somehow she magically, got into the private events.
I did.
I was allowed.
So I had a media pass, and that I did the press conference and everything, and then we did the sports expo, and then I still had a media pass for the induction ceremony, but I was lucky enough that someone was able to get me a ticket. But then there's like the friends and family VIP room.
Did you see it?
Oh,
I was there.
Oh.
Duncan Keith, is that who you?
And you met so many players up there.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, we met Chara and
Lanny McDonald.
Lanny McDonald.
Oh, she fell in love with Duncan Keith.
I did.
Got on a ship out of Montreal called the Rhine-Dam. It took 10 days at that time to get to Rotterdam. And of course, we put a lot of beer back by the time we got to Rotterdam. But then I go into The Hague. I didn't even know what The Hague was like. And got on this team, and then they made me player coach. So we had a record that year of 34 wins and 1 loss. And the 1 loss was in the Armed Force bases in Germany. We got so hammered. The next game at New Year's, we didn't know what we were doing on the ice. But that's the only game we lost.
That's the only
we used
game
to play all the countries. And I think at that time we were one of the better teams in Europe. I had 4 other Canadians to play with. And that was a big difference to have, that kind of an advantage. But nowadays, these guys that are coming from Europe, they're not bad hockey players. Sweden and Finland. And the East, when I come back home, I played with the Gold Hornets, and we went back and played in East and West Germany. The Germans were, the wall was set up. And that was fun. And then I got to get over to, I'll tell them one story I've been telling these guys all day. I was announced or used to put in the paper, Paddy Adair is probably the best Canadian player in Europe. That's how modest I am. Anyway, I'll get it in. They got me to go to Kitzbühel, Austria. And I get there, and they take me over to the Ring Hotel, and it was a castle. And I go to the concierge, and he said, well, Elizabeth Taylor was in this room last night, but you can have that for the rest of the season. So I was 24 hours late. The plane that came to Munich should have got me the day before, and I would have met Elizabeth.
Oh,
well, it's true. Elizabeth Taylor regretted not seeing you, right?
Well, I mean,
I would.
she had 7 husbands, so I wasn't going to.
What's number 8?
Yeah.
So, who's the toughest hockey player you've ever played against? And do we know who that is?
That's a good question, but I only played junior here in Canada, and they didn't fight in Europe. You didn't need shoulder pads, and there was no spearing, and it was just like I have to say, a gentleman's game. It wasn't the same. But over here, you could get speared, and I lost all my front teeth on a spear.
My goodness.
But anyway, I have no one that I wasn't a fighter then. I was kind of a goal scorer and didn't want to be in the penalty box.
Yeah, but I'm sure people wanted to fight you, no?
Well, Pat Quinn
we
did.
do.
Pat Quinn did. Played against the Burlington Industrials, wasn't Pat, Barry? Anyway, we come in here, and he tried to take me down because he knew that I may be the difference, but he didn't hit me hard enough.
Yeah, I remember Pat played for the Hamilton Tiger Cubs. You guys remember Hamilton Red Wings? And every Thursday night, Norm Marshall and Channel 11 did the games. Yeah, we all watched those, but they didn't keep any of those games. They're all destroyed, which is unfortunate because we like to watch them as kids. And Patty played football at St. Mike's, right? There's a nice photo of the team with him in it. And,
Terry O'Malley was on that team, and a couple other, the Drapers were on that team.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, they played hockey and football, and Mike Draper comes to our lunches, and he's part of he was twins with Bruce Draper, who was top prospect, who passed away early, but Mike comes with a bunch of Aurelia Terrier players who won the Allen Cup. Like Doug Kelcher and Grant Moore and Gary Milroy, they all come, and they love it because they can talk old times. And like I said, we have all kinds of different people coming to the lunches, and we used to have Jim Gregory come all the time, and you know, it's not just NHL players, like I mentioned. It's
Brian McFarland's there a lot.
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
McFarland's always there with his
Brian
wife.
McFarland, you guys remember him?
He's
Peter
amazing.
Puck, yeah.
He's so nice.
Yeah.
And Joan, I love her.
Yeah.
Tell me about Hockey Time Machine.
Hockey Time Machine. We used to, when the pandemic started, we couldn't have the alumni lunches. So we thought, well, how are we going to keep them together? So there's a new thing that came out called Zoom. And we said, well, let's try that with a few of us, just to keep in touch with each other. And we did a Hockey Time Machine, and then we started getting guests. Scotty Bowman called and he said, I want to be on. Yvonne Cornway wants to be on. So we had all these great former players. Now, during the pandemic, no one had anything else to do. So we had lots of people listening and watching on YouTube. We had so many different players. We had Tretiak, Mikhailov, and Yakushev on one of our Zooms direct from Moscow. This is before the war started, okay? And then one of the lunches, we actually had Paul Henderson came, and we thought, well, let's get Tretiak and Yakushev from Moscow on the line. So at our lunch, we actually had them talking to each other, congratulating each other. That's pretty good, I'd say.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of things we try to do. And
it's a lot of fun to watch, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned a lot, too. We were working on a documentary on the 72 series and a book as well. And we had them on, and they're very friendly. And, but we haven't done anything since the war started. But
has there
better mention Jerry McNamara?
Jerry McNamara.
Yes.
He was a really
Jerry McNamara was a former Leaf goalie scout who discovered Borje Salming and Inge Hammerstrom, and he was GM for the Leafs for many years. Wasn't treated well by the press, but and he hibernated for 20 years. He didn't want to do anything with hockey, and I'd known him. I said, you got to come out because you got stories to tell, and you enjoy all the other people. And finally came out, sat at the back. Next time he sat closer, and he became a big part of our lunches, where he told us the true stories of what happened with those Leafs in the 80s, because they weren't that good. But he was featured in that document, that 6-part miniseries on Borje Salming, and he was played by Jason Priestley. And he had a cameo in it as the taxi driver, and we kidded him about that. But he was so happy coming to these lunches and all the events we do. In fact, he would be here today if he was still around talking about hockey.
Paul, we have to mention he was one of the better storytellers.
Oh, yeah.
In your Zoom time.
But he always would tell the truth, you see. That differed from what any reporters here, they didn't treat him very well. But I remember one day, Scott Morrison from the Toronto Sun, who used to cover him back in the 80s, he came up to me. No, Jerry saw Scott Morrison and says, I don't know, I'm nervous now because you got a reporter there. I said, no, let me go talk to Scott. And ended up that they shook hands and forgot about all the past stuff. And they became friends again. It was really, really good. But yeah, he was a big part of our group, and we miss him to this day. I think he's been gone just over a year now, and he was one of the best. And we've had so many different people over the years: Bobby Bond, Bob Nevin, and countless others. And at Christmas time, we had Frank Mahovlich and a whole bunch of others come.
It was just sold right out. You can't get in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, we will fit people in. Yeah, not a problem there. So we have, we've worked on a lot of different shows and documentaries. We did a documentary on Pat Quinn for Leafs TV. We did that, and I learned a lot about Pat. And we had him talk about that incident with Bobby Orr, what happened that day. Do you guys remember Pat Quinn hitting Bobby Orr, knocking him out? And he had to have police escort out, and that was quite an incident there. And so he talked about it, and Derek Sanderson says that he told Bobby it was a clean hit, and she says Bobby doesn't like to hear that, But that was a scary moment, and so Pat was fearless. He would go fight anyone, and he wasn't a bad player either. And I remember one time he was something happened to him. Stan Mikita did something to him when junior, and then Pat got him back, and when Pat was with Atlanta and Stan was with Chicago, and he Pat didn't forget. He didn't. But Leafs haven't been the same since he was the GM and coach of the Leafs, because they went to a dry spell after that. They hired John Ferguson Jr., which turned out to be a bad mistake, right, Barry? Yeah, and they've been bad ever since. Well, they had a few good years. You got to build a team the right way. You got to draft a player. You can't trade away your draft picks because you can't win that way.
Well, why aren't you the GM then?
Me, the GM? I would be if Patty's my assistant GM.
That would be amazing.
But not my driver, okay?
I don't think.
Okay, you guys know who Austin Matthews is, right? No? Should the Leafs trade him? Yeah. Okay, done deal then. Okay, he's gone then. Okay.
You just did that?
Just like that.
That happened.
Yeah.
Well,
he can play
then
with
him and
Marner.
Mitchie. Yeah.
He probably wants to go there too. Yeah. So we could talk about Leafs forever, but Hamilton's getting a AHL team now, right?
They are. Yes.
Yeah.
Hamilton is getting an AHL team. Yes. And a PWHL
a
team.
women's hockey team too.
Yeah. And I think this is exactly what Hamilton needs. I do. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to make the city just thrive, I think. So I think it's going to be fantastic. I think so too.
Well,
I think, or in stadium, in arena host. That would be cool, right? Let's all put a petition together for
Anybody have any contacts here to help Kristen out?
You're right. Is that a $6 million ring? What's the?
It looks really good inside.
They put $6 million into it.
Yeah. And Toronto Rock just won, so that was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah,
because they play in that as well.
Yeah, it's not like the Barton Street Arena. Anybody here gone to those junior games at that rink with the big pillars and everything? You guys have? Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a rink. You couldn't even see out of some seats there. That was that junior hockey.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
things.
right. Yeah.
So I think that's going to be amazing, and it will just be good. It's going to give the Cats and Forge FC a run for their money, though. So we got to get all the Cats fans and all the Forge fans at the stadium so we can fill some seats, and so that but then also for hockey too. It's going to be amazing.
Well, it should be an NHL franchise, but things didn't work out, and they should have, because they would support a team for sure.
I think so as well. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think yes.
1930s. You remember that, Patty? Were you on that team or think line? Okay, they were Ottawa Senators. Yeah, that's they won a lot of Stanley Cups. They did, and they always say the make fun of the Leafs for not winning Stanley Cups in so many years. Well, Ottawa is even worse. They haven't won a Stanley Cup even longer. Okay. Yeah, Kenora Thistles.
Wasn't that the team that had 7 players only? There was a team that won, and there was only about 7 players in the team.
Well, a small town could actually win the Stanley Cup back then. It was a Challenge Cup, and that's quite a feat. They still remember that in Kenora Thistles. Yeah, well, they should. Yeah. And any other questions? That was a good one.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're off to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kitchener's
sorry.
is going, right? Yeah. Memorial Cup. Yeah, that's one of the oldest trophies around. Well, remember how the Red Wings won the Memorial Cup in 1962? Who can name some of the players there?
Was Henderson on that team?
Paul Henderson,
Was he?
Pitt Martin, Howie Menard, Lowell McDonald. I could go on and on. Bob Wall. Yeah, that's right. They had a great team. Freddie Speck came a little bit later, didn't he? Yeah, but he was the top player for Hamilton. Centerman
My brother Jimmy played with Speck.
Jimmy Adair played with him. Yeah, you're pretty famous there. Have a brother that played for Hamilton Red Wings.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
He didn't like Bush, so as a coach.
No, who was the coach?
Eddie Bush.
Eddie Bush. Oh, he was a taskmaster, that guy. Yeah, he was great. But a lot of history of hockey in Hamilton, and Hamilton they went on strike, and they decided, well, we're not going to put up with that. They moved into New York, made the New York Americans. You guys know that? Yeah, that's a shame. They haven't had a team since. So it'd be nice if they could get one back. But yeah, a lot of history there. Yeah.
Well,
So,
Mister,
I think we're getting
you better
the
wrap up.
not
Yeah.
not to stop right now.
If Paul could stop talking for a moment.
Okay, back to Kristen now. Okay?
No.
Yeah.
You got a new hook.
Yeah,
Well.
you scored the winning goal last night, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're happy in Newfoundland. Okay, so
Thank
Kristen
you
can
so
finish it off,
much.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us banter this whole time. Back and forth. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you, Paul.
Yeah, this
and Paddy.
was a lot of fun. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate your coming down and enjoying our lunch with us today. I hope everybody had a good time.